record our service today. All right, the recording is started. So on this Mother's Day, the theme that we're following this month is listen to your heart. And the topic for today also is listen to your heart. And this theme comes from the context that's kind of that I would like to bring around Mother's Day. Although I am a parent, I'm not a mother, so I do believe that I understand the aspect and the characteristics that we look at when we're talking about the feminine side, the mother side, the nurturing, and the nature. But one of the things that I've thought and considered about on this day is that science tells us that the first senses to develop in the embryo is sound. And the first sound an embryo hears is the mother's heartbeat. The heartbeat, the voice of the heart, and it's very primal. It is the wisdom and the guidance of the universal divine. It is where our intuition resides. It is forever speaking and guiding and imparting itself to and through and as us. When we listen and when we pay attention, we can hear the call upon our lives. That normal, natural essence of who we are as we grow and mature into our lives and into our experience begins in that place of the embryo and the sounds that we are beginning to hear. And that's sort of the initial introduction that we have into the world. So we begin by hearing first the heartbeat of our mother that's carrying us and bringing us into this world. I was thinking back, I wonder what kinds of other sounds I was hearing, as I know that there were 3 older siblings that were already running around the house when my mom was carrying me, and they were at that age of 2, 4, and 6. So I can only imagine there was a lot of chaotic sound that was going on as I was being brought into the world. And so in addition to the heartbeat of my mother, I know that there is a connection that I have with family that began at that place, and it nurtures and begins to grow through our life experience. But we come from that place of knowing that there is an internal universal heartbeat that we are all a part of. In Cslmv May, we call it the one mind or the one life or the infinite that is expressing itself through and as in every one of us. So in that sense, we are birthed from this place of the divine presence that is beyond physical form. It is in that place of the eternal and the absolute. And it's the place in which we draw upon for our intuitive nature. And when we are willing and when we are able to take the time to sort of resonate into the presence of who we are, if we consider the vibration of the universe that we are forever embodied in, that we know that there's a lot of activity that's going on and around and about us. There's a lot of vibration. There's a lot of sound that we are hearing. There's a lot of things that show up in our life that can be very distractive. And for the most part, they probably are distracting us and we go along with that. We get engaged in it. We participate in it. We're part of the distraction itself, and the way in which we show up in the world, and how it is that we go out about our daily lives and what we are doing. When we consider this idea that there's a divine place in which we are birthed from, that we know that we always can call upon that we can always draw from that a greater sense, a grace, or a greater sense of love and harmony in our life, then we're able to step aside from all of the material distractions that are showing up in the world, and center within ourselves and anchor ourselves into that universal heartbeat that allows us to bring forth a peace of mind and a resonance within our daily life that brings forth a greater sense of harmony. In preparing some of the messages that we do on Sunday, one of the places that I like to refer to always is the Cslmv May magazine. And I want to make note of, in the magazine every month, we publish our Declaration of Principles. It's a statement that was created by our founder, Ernest Holmes, when he was once asked, what is this thing that you called science of mind? What is this philosophy that you're bringing forth? What is it that you believe? And so he created the statement of principles, and it has evolved throughout the years, and we now put it forth as our Declaration of Principles. In this month's magazine, it's on page 10, and it's actually titled "What We Believe." And one of the or two of the principles that are stated in there, I'd like to give you for this day. We believe that heaven is within us, and that we experience it to the degree that we become conscious of it. We believe in the direct revelation of truth through our intuitive and spiritual nature, and that anyone may become a revealer of truth who lives in close contact with the indwelling God. So in that idea of listening to your heart, we're speaking about the principles that we lay down as our foundation of our philosophy, our teaching, and our faith. That we believe that that divine essence is already within us, that we believe that we can reveal the truth of who we are if we are willing to stay in that close contact with the indwelling presence that is there, the heartbeat of the divine. That if we find ourselves, and I believe that we all do, that we are living in a world that is filled with opportunities. And many of these opportunities, depending on how we perceive them, might show up and look like they are obstacles. They might look like they are challenges in our life, and we may not see it as an opportunity. And I've been talking about this through the entire stay-at-home time that we've had in this COVID-19 sort of isolation procedures. That for many, this is really it's beyond an inconvenience. It's a disruption in our life. It's taking away for many their livelihood, their income, and the most severe, it's taken away their health and their life. And so it really is, you know, not just a minor distraction. This is a major disruption in the experience and the life that we are living in the world today. And yet we are still here, as I say at the beginning of service, you know, we're still here, we're still on this planet in this physical form. So there is a divine purpose of why we are here. And there's a divine purpose for us to be in expression. There is something that is, we are meant to be, something that we are meant to do, something that we are meant to bring forth in order that we can reveal the greater truth of all that is going on in the world. There is an opportunity for us if we're willing to seek that out in order to move into that place of the heaven within. It's necessary for us to up-level our consciousness, to recognize that life in this physical form, life on this world is temporary, that we are just travelers moving through this experience here and now. But first and foremost, we are spiritual beings. We are eternal and infinite and part of the absolute. What we do with this experience, how it is that we respond and handle or behave in this life, in this experience, in all of the experiences that we've had and all the experiences that are yet to show up, how we respond to that, how we react to that is our choice. We may not feel like we were at choice. We may not feel like we have freedom or that we have a lot of options. But as we up-level our consciousness, as we begin to reveal the greater truth within us, we will find that that is the possibility, that that is available to us to the level and the degree that we become conscious of it. That's one of our basic principles in Cslmv May, that we believe that heaven is within us and that we experience it to the degree that we are willing to become conscious of it. So there is an opportunity here, I believe, and that I'm practicing, and that I am trying to share and experience in my life here, is that through my consciousness, through my awareness, through my willingness to do the internal work that is required of me, that I will move through all of this experience in a more joyful and a more harmonious and a more loving and peaceful way. So it is my belief that the invitation then is for us to find that moment in time where we can quiet our mind and listen to that intuitive nature that dwells within our heartbeat, the heartbeat that when it is in sync, when it's in harmony with the universal heartbeat, with that divine presence, then it will bring about a peace of mind. It will bring about an order in your experience and all of the aspects that are going on in your daily routine. That when we are in vibration with that heartbeat of the universe, that there truly is a place of love that's wanting to express through us. There is a sense of abundance and prosperity that wants to express through us, that there is a creative aspect that wants to play in this universe and in this world and in our life. It wants to be everything that it is able and capable of doing, because that is the nature of spirit. That is the nature of who we are, because we are born of that divine presence and that nature of the divine. That we are here to be an expression and in the capacity and in the capability of all of the strengths and the talents that each and every one of us is given. And I'm absolutely convinced that the universe has given all of us the strength, the talents, and the skills that are unique to our personality. And that if we can call upon that, if we can find that moment of quietness and stillness within and do the internal work, then that everything that shows up on the external exterior of our life will become more of the truth. We will reveal more of that truth of who we are. We will live more of that experience of what we believe to be the heaven within and all that we can imagine that to be. For that is our nature, that is our experience of who we are. The universe holds nothing against us. No matter how many mistakes that we have made, we are still perfect beings within. And the within may become the without. And if we will carefully train ourselves to listen to the inner voice of truth, which speaks to us in our moments of quietness and solitude. The words from our founder, Ernest Holmes, that the universe holds nothing against us, that we can, if we are willing to let go of any idea that we are something less than whole, perfect, and complete, then we will fill our mind, we will fill our body, we will fill our affairs and our experience and our expression of all of this divine good. And that will become our truth. And that will become the way in which we show up in the world, and particularly in this new world that we are experiencing in this moment, and that we are eagerly anticipating that opportunity when we get to once again share with each other in a way that looks like we are out in the world, participating, engaging, and loving one another to our full capacity. So I'm going to share a quote for the day and complete on that. So if I may. I practice my gift of complete freedom by listening to my higher self, and I completely trust the process. Thank you for being here today. Namaste. And so we get to have another, pardon me one moment while I